Imagine waking up on a freezing February morning. Open your front door. The ground is covered in fresh snow. Everything is quiet until you notice something. Footprints. Not human, not horse, not deer. Perfect little hoof prints. Walking in a single line across gardens, fields, over walls, across rooftops, and even over rivers. Some people claim they stretched for nearly 100 miles, but by lunchtime, the entire village believed the devil himself had walked across Devon during the night. But what really happened? Today, we're investigating one of Britain's oldest, strangest unsolved mysteries, the devil's footprints. I'm Lisa, and this is Say It Anyway, the podcast where we look beyond the headlines, behind the rumours, and into evidence behind some of the world's greatest mysteries. Sometimes the truth is stranger than fiction, and sometimes the mystery is even bigger than the answer. Our story begins in Devon, England. The date is the 9th of February 1855, the night before heavy snow had fallen across much of the county. By morning, people across villages, farms, were stepping outside to discover something nobody could explain. At first it seemed like an isolated curiosity. A strange line of footprints crossing the gardens, then another report came in, and another. Soon dozens of communications across Devon were reporting the exact same thing. The prints were small, only a few inches long. Each one looked like a cloved hoof, the type of footprint usually associated with goats, or according to centuries of folklore, the devil himself. The most remarkable part wasn't the footprints. It was where they went. Witnesses claim they crossed stone walls, enclosed gardens, haystacks, rooftops, and frozen rivers. Some reports even suggest they disappeared on one side of an obstacle, only to continue on the perfectly same line on the other side. Even stranger, the footprints appeared to be in a single line, almost as though whoever or whatever made them was walking on two legs rather than four. Remember, this wasn't modern Britain, it was Victorian England. Religion played a huge part in everyday life. Many people genuinely believed evil forces walked among them. News of footprints spread quickly. Some families refused to leave their homes. Churches filled with frightened locals, farmers checked their animals, children were kept indoors, and rumours spread faster than the snow could melt. Had Satan himself visited Devon? Local newspapers quickly picked up the story, and within days, it was making headlines across Britain. Descriptions were becoming increasingly dramatic. Some claimed the footprints stretched 40 miles, others claimed nearly 100. Some articles even suggested they crossed impossible obstacles. Others added detail that earlier reports never mentioned. This raises an important question. Did the newspapers simply report the mystery, or did they accidentally make it even bigger? Now, there are several theories, and theory one is animals. The simplest explanation, and the best, could simply have been an ordinary animal track. A badger, a rabbit, a few mice, foxes. Some animals naturally place their back feet in the prints they'd left with the front. In the snow, this could create a simultaneously usual pattern, but critics argue that no ordinary animal would travel such enormous distances in such a perfect straight line. Theory 2. Another explanation focuses on the weather. As temperatures change and snow began to melt, some small footprints could expand, edges become blurry, natural tracks suddenly become larger. If several unrelated animal tracks were distorted, people may have believed that they're seeing the same continuous trail. Many historians believe this is the most likely explanation. Now, Theory 3. Victorian newspapers even suggested an exotic animal had escaped from a travelling circus. One suggestion was a kangaroo, and it's certainly imaginable, but no evidence has ever been found that a kangaroo was loose in Devon that night and climbing over rooftops. It seems unlikely. Theory 4. This one I really don't get. Another theory involved an experimental hot air balloon. Some believe ropes hanging beneath the drifting balloon could have dragged it through the snow. It's an interesting thought, but once again, there's no evidence to say there was a balloon in the air anywhere near Devon. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but wouldn't that create drag marks, not pinpoint? Just saying. Theory 5. Then we come to the explanation that kept the story alive for more than 170 years. Some people believe the witnesses really did see something beyond the extraordinary explanation, whether it's the devil, a supernatural being, or simply something we just don't understand. Nobody has ever been able to prove it. For more than a century and a half, There is still no photographs, no plastic casts, no physical evidence, only newspaper reports and witness statements, and local folklore passed down through generations. Many experts believe the mystery was likely exaggerated as reports spread from village to village. Others argue there are still details no single explanation fully accounts for. The truth? We may never know. So, were the devil's footprints simply distorted animal tracks? Was Victorian media sensationalised? Or did something generally unexplained leave a mark across the snow on that February night? Maybe the story ends there, but the questions never do. We'll let you decide. This is Say It Anyway.